So just to say, the Irish Football Association, the IFA, they made an absolute mess of what they're doing. Um, like the amount of money they've lost over the last few years is ridiculous, and I'm thankful that the government hasn't, Minister Shane Watts, the Sports and Transport, Department of Sports and Transport, haven't, given the money to them to, reboot them, I suppose you could say. And hopefully they don't, because I don't think they're going to give them any more government funding for a long, long time. Which is a good decision, because good Jesus Christ, the amount of money they've lost, I've looked at the figures, and my good Jesus, lost 9 million in 2018. 9 million euro. It's just mad, like, good God almighty. And it's putting small local clubs at jeopardy. And you see, and I say this for a fact, you see these big, high up people in the IFA going out on their big meals, going around in their big fancy cars, and you have to wonder, where the money is really going. And, this is true, and, you see this across the whole, in county boards, in different county boards across across Ireland, and in different sports clubs, the head gaffers, take the money for themselves, and they don't care to share. Which is the reality of sports in Ireland now, football and soccer clubs in Ireland. And it's affecting the taxpayer. And it's affecting the people out playing that want to exercise and enjoy themselves and like playing football or Gaelic. It's affected the kids more than anything else too. Because, it is putting kids' soccer training and kids' football training in jeopardy in some places. Obviously the insurance for kids and obviously for insurance grounds, like this, I know for a few local sports clubs around Cavan, a good lot of them are at a loss. They have the negative money, I suppose you could say, because they're paying so much for insurance and for this and for that, and some of them are nearly in 250,000 of a loss and in debt of 250,000. I've heard of clubs in debt of nearly €1 million, in some parts of Cork and Kerry. And it's not the funding, like the government have given a lot of funding over the last few years for the sports, the IFA. And obviously Joe Daly, I might as well say he's a complete twat. And I'm not going to retract that statement for no matter what. I don't have a clue what he was up to. And to be honest, I don't really want to know what he was up to, because I say there's even more to be found out about him. Because he's really just fecked everything up. And forgive me for my language, but my good Jesus Christ. You have to wonder what's going on. Like, there's something going on. There's something more to the story than what they're telling us. And there is something more. There's always something more you never hear. And they know it. They know it. The OT might know it, but they might not say it. But, there's something going on in the background. There is something going on. The public might not know, because it's not really making... To me, this sounds like there's something they're trying to cover up. They're trying to say we lost this much because we was doing this, we were doing that. And in fact, they probably spelled it on themselves. Like, I'm just assuming. I don't know. I don't know the full facts of it. I've looked up a good bit of it. I read an article or two about it. I seen the amount of money they've lost. They lost more money than they have gained, to be honest, for football matches, say the FIFA friendlies in the FIFA stadium. Or, Ireland's Gibraltar game in Gibraltar. They lost more money than they gained, if you know what I'm saying. Because it's in a business, anybody who does business or has a business, something if you're at a loss, like let's say you invest 1.8 million into a business and starting a business, let's say you're a big industry, you invest 1.8 million and you wait for a year and you only get 1.1 million back, you're at a loss of a huge amount of money there. And that's a lot of money I've lost. And the IFA, I think, for 2018, they've lost, I think it was 1.8 million they gained, and it was 1.9 million they spent. Or something like that. I don't know. It's a lot of figures. It's a lot of figures. Like, I've looked at 2 articles, and the amount of figures and the amount of this, that, and the other, and it's just confusing people. Like, to the only person, you're just like, the how. That's the way. But there's something at the back of this. There is something at the back of this. I'm sure people know. I've seen OT had a documentary on primetime one night, and they were showing that how they take bits for themselves, local sports clubs and that's that. And they're crooks. The people who do this are crooks because they're not just hurting themselves. They're not just risking themselves being put to prison, but they're hurting the community at large. Whatever football club or Gaelic club they represent. Excuse me, sorry. Obviously indigestion. But as I said, they're not just hurting themselves. And it's really selfish if they're going to just take it out of, football matches, money, and that's really, really selfish because it's not affecting them. They're not going to worry about it. It's affected the poor kids that are there on a Saturday morning, training, wanting to win tournaments, wanting to have a bit of fun. And that's who it's going to affect. It's not affecting the big head knobs. Because don't worry, they'll retire with a big pension anyway. They won't have to worry about it, the people in the IFA. And I'm really clap Shane Ross in the back. If the government would give a set to them, like they have to find out where, in the name of God, did they spend all this money in the last few years. That's what they have to find out. Where? First of all, to find that out. Second of all, they have to put somebody that's very reliable in charge of the IFA. And then third of all, if necessary, cut the funding altogether nearly for the IFA completely for the next 6 or 7 years. And, that'll knock out a few of the bad apples, I suppose you could say. But, I say to Shane Ross, don't fund them until you find out the full story. And he's right not to fund them because they're just wasting taxpayer money. And nobody wants that. There's enough being wasted at the moment in time anyway in this country. I don't know, take a watch and subscribe more, and bye.